Hey. I think we have a very interesting matchup on our hands. Bay State. What do you think about these teams and their and their rankings, their records so far, and where we think they are headed? Yeah. Last week we had one team that had a lot of players that were all pretty new to Heroes of the Storm, or a lot of them were. This time around, it is not the case. We got a lot of veterans here, some plat players, some some gold players, some bronze players. It's a very rainbow team, and it will be very interesting to see what kind of dynamic these teams have. If they're all gonna follow their highest MMR player, or if it's just going to be a wonderful, wonderful rainbow of strategies coming out all at once.
Yeah, the most interesting thing is Luciodology. They were founded by Galactos, who is not playing with us tonight, but he's usually their support player and their captain. And his son, Takulu, plays on the team as well, who is playing tonight. But everybody else comes in as listeners of his podcast called Ludology.
Oh wow!
The team name, a fusion of that and Lucio, his favorite hero. But they're all like board game players primarily, so they come in with a lot of like strategy and like,
So a lot of those skills transfer
yeah,
over
that kind of
mechanically.
skill, but not a lot of like clicking and micro hero
Yeah,
control skills. Um,
that's that's interesting.
and that has
Um,
shown in their results so far. Actually, they're the fastest team to level 10 consistently in E Division, by like 15 seconds to the next closest team, and like 45 seconds on
they
average. Um,
you're muted, by the way. I don't know how long. So
oh,
yeah, and I'm trying to get back in camera.
oh, I think that was a while ago. It's on a 2-minute delay. Remember?
Yeah, I don't know how quickly you fixed it.
Yeah. Um, And so far they've beaten Frank's Furters, lost to Law's Brawls, and drew against NGS Tigers, so they're 1-1-1 on the season. Quote from their captain today: "The biggest issue we've had is that we tend to do really well in the early game, at least play even, if not ahead to 10, but things start to fall apart a little after that, so we're trying to remain focused and better as a team, pick our fights smarter, and in general, be better."
That is a good set of goals.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what each of these teams. You have to fix it. You have to fix the teams and go on the road.
Yes. Working on that.
We're having some 3-2-3 at the moment. I see that Goose MVP's three favorite heroes are Johanna, and Johanna. You have to love it.
Yeah, he's really just a Johanna player. Goose is playing tonight, as is Hentron. They're both. I'll flip back to that slide to talk more about them. Goose is playing tonight. Hentron's playing tonight. They've been swapping around their whole roster so that everybody can play. No real consistency in terms of who the main five are so far, which I think might be holding them back a little in their quick growing, but is certainly a fair way to let all of these fans of Ludology get on and get in some game time and get on stream. But Goose MVP seems to only play Johanna, from what I can tell. So they do have another main tank player, Eugeneauz, So I imagine he'll flex into another role tonight, and with Galactos sitting out as their main support player, I think it might just get a little wild from what this prediction screen is showing. Bronze League Heroes, on the other hand, things are pretty consistent with them. They have a couple of extra subs on the roster, but they're not playing them very often. They're just honest subs.
Yeah, one thing I'm really looking forward to, one thing I always champion really in basically any rank in NGS is to play the heroes that you are good on rather than just being a slave for the meta. The meta is very much formed around professional level play, and except at the very, very top of Storm Division, it's not where we're at. So, and even there, it's not quite. I mean, it's very teams that are doing well in Open Division, but there's no reason to be a slave to the meta. I hope we see these players play the heroes that they love to play, because that's what Heroes of the Storm is all about, baby.
These picks I do expect to be a little more in line with what we see today. This is also Bronze League Heroes' first NGS season. They've been playing a few months now. They're actually the third team in the team name change family. They used to play in the Art of War gaming community and held a tournament co-hosted with NGS about a month ago. In the first round, they lost to Married and Mediocre and Nexus Cats, but they drew Backbone VC. And quote from their captain, "We're trying to find our rhythm this season, and so far it's escaped us. We caught it against Save the Murloc and took 2-0. If we play the game we're trying to play against Luciodology, I'll think we'll take it to 2-0 as well."
My only issue with Bronze League Heroes is that their player Tank Girl plays support.
Yes.
So
no tanks and no Sergeant Hammer.
Maybe a B tag change in there. I'm not sure.
A big missed opportunity there.
Yeah, unlucky. But other than that,
So our first map of the night is going to be Infernal Shrines. Starting out here, Bronze League Heroes won the coin flip. They chose to pick the first map, and their ban was Cursed Hollow. Luciodology countered with a Abraxas holdout ban. Then they chose to play the second map on Volskaya Foundry, and we're starting here on Infernal Shrines.
Yeah, and I think we're all ready. Our teams are ready, and we're ready to go into draft and enjoy a wonderful game of NGS.
Quick keys to the game before we do. We've declared Luciodology our underdog tonight, but it's a really close matchup, and I don't know that... Like, honestly, this could go either way. But Luciodology is just a little greener to the Heroes world, and their inability to have a 5 stable role players, and they just play with players outside of their natural roles sometimes. I noticed a lot of the real hero pools on Hotslogs of all these players don't line up with what they've been playing in NGS very well. They've flexed around to fit into the team. And additionally, Bronze League Heroes is working with their sister team, Team Name Change, which I think should be starting to show results a few weeks into the season, which should give them a slight edge in this very close matchup.
Alright.
The first key is to get Bronze League Heroes tilted if Luciodology wants to pull an upset. Their synergy is still growing as well, and Tank Girl has a very small hero pool, so if they can get her off her comfort picks of Lily and Malfurion, they might be able to win. Macro, macro, macro. As we mentioned before, Luciodology is very fast at getting to level 10. If they can just outplay the soak game and Merc control the map and just take advantage of the level advantages that they give themselves when they have them, I think they should be able to take at least a map off of Bronze League Heroes. And it's really just going to come down to which teams are more focused tonight. They're so closely matched that I think an off night from either team is enough to cost them this whole series.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not going to know what to think until I see it.
Yeah. Let's get this game started.
Indeed. So this was Bronze League Heroes map choice. So it is going to be Luciodology with the first ban, and let's see if they are going to target anyone in particular, or if they're just going to ban things that they don't like to play against.
You're a little off screen here. Asmodan ban? That's pretty meta.
Yeah, white main and Asmodan, even with the white main changes coming in, people still are not prepared to play against it. I think it is still very strong, so I think those are two pretty reasonable bans. I think we might see a Jimmy ban coming out from one of these teams. Okay, it's going to be the Malfurion. Could be a target ban. Could just be something they think is strong.
Could be.
Okay, it's going to be the Garrosh. Now, I don't particularly like the Garrosh ban on a map like Infernal Shrines, but it can be very strong if you're playing a pick or map control style composition. So it's fine. I'm okay with it, but it isn't the strongest on the shrine because all those minions get in the way of your throws.
We will forge a great destiny.
Tychus and Varian.
I like the Tychus, and I like the Varian. I think Varian's a very nice point-and-click hero to play. Tychus gives you a lot of shrine control post-10.
I'm interested to see if Varian's going to be their main tank or if they're going a Colossus Smash build.
Yeah, I mean, even Twin Blades, you never know. We'll see how it all works out here. But on the other side, we get Johanna and Deckard, two very meta picks. Johanna, again, a much better shrining tank.
Absolutely.
And so not surprising. And Jaina also.
Strong
again,
ban. Strong ban.
Strong ban. Very strong in the meta, strong on the map. And I'm still waiting to see if we're getting a Jimmy ban or anything else. I still think Jimmy offers a lot. Okay. So we're getting a support ban. Now, I don't hate the Stukov ban. It does offer a lot to, if they are going taunt variant here, a Stukov silence to follow up a variant taunt. Well, now I don't know what we're getting.
Interesting. So do you think it's Smash or do you think it's Windblades?
I'm not sure, if I'm honest with you.
This could be the E-Division hype we've been waiting for.
I mean, this is really what... Oh, good.
And an
Illidan. Okay. I don't any longer have any idea what to expect.
BronzeLeagueHeroes is really just going all in here.
Yeah, this is a very melee-heavy composition.
Yeah,
no matter
even Tyka is such a short range, they basically opted not to draft a ranged hero.
Which is interesting, including Raul and Johanna, who have, and the Deckard, who all have very strong area control. So, okay. This draft by Luciodology is much more standard. It's making a lot more sense to me. But BronzeLeagueHeroes are having fun with it, which again I always recommend. So
absolutely.
And we get a melee support.
Another melee.
I'm guessing
they're just diving hard.
I'm guessing, and I don't think this is a stretch, that this is a Bloodlust comp.
It looks like a Bloodlust comp, and it's. I really expect it's got to be Colossus Smash, but we'll see at level 4.
I mean, again, with Twin Blades, you're getting a lot of life leech off of that Bloodlust and your second wind. So I really am not going to be surprised by anything here. I think it's a little bit overkill for the melee on that Bloodlust comp, but I don't know. We'll see. How do you think our lanes are going to be divided here?
I expect Tychus into Yrel. He'll probably have the easiest time with her. But I'm not sure if we're going to see a rotation out of the rest, or if it'll end up being like a Varian or an Illidan against Alarak in the bottom lane.
If I was splitting this up from Bronze League's Heroes perspective, I would probably have a Diablo, Rhaegar, Tychus lane, and then either probably leave Varian in a lane to just hold it, and then send Illidan camping, or you could split it up and have...
I mean, a Twin Blades Varian could camp just as easily.
Right, but it doesn't come online until 4. The camps come up at a minute now, so that's not always the most super efficient.
Yeah.
But you can even have Diablo sit in a solo lane and have Varian roam if it is like a taunt or Varian. There are a few ways you can split it up. I do think one of this Illidan or Varian are going to be camping, though, in my assumption. I think that Luciodology... Okay, hold on. All right, on the side of Luciodology, we are going to have Fairywinkle on Deckard, Hentron on Alarak, Goose MVP on Johanna, Takulu on Phoenix, and Eugeneauz on Urel.
And over on Bronze League Heroes, we've got Yep on Diablo, boosting it up on Tychus. I like that name hero synergy. Tank Girl on Rhaegar, Rage Fist on Varian, and up here on the Illidan, Tyro.
Alright, so it is going to be an Illidan solo lane. I am still curious if this variant's going to split off. We do have a High King's Quest. Yeah, we do have a High King's Quest, which is typical for a Smash variant.
No other particularly unusual pickups at the level 1 taunt here. Sapphire at a Deckard Cain is pretty standard these days.
Ooh, Goose is taking a lot of damage here.
Getting very low very early. Just not respecting that Tychus damage. Illidan and Urel have just run right past each other to focus on the minions. Just pretending they're not even in the lane. And it seems like Luciodology is mostly just keeping to a 3 separate lane situation. Deckard rotating to help Phoenix a little, but I wonder if the intent is to siege mid a little harder? Because now with the Johanna comp, you see that's a big root. Kept Alarak alive.
Now, this rotation by Bronze League's Heroes is not been efficient. They don't have a lot of wave clear, and I think they're missing a lot of soak from doing this.
Luciodology already has a half a level lead.
And I really hope that we're seeing someone sit in the lane to make sure that they're not missing the soak, especially as they're looking for such a brawly strategy.
Yeah, Tychus is getting a lot of DPS value on the other heroes, but you're not seeing a lot of effective soak at a Bronze League Heroes at this stage of the game.
Illidan losing that trade against Urel.
Sort of as expected up there. I don't know that he'd have an easy time into that lane. Varian taking a lot of damage from this mercenary camp right now.
It is Colossus Smash Varian, which is probably
exacerbating to invade in it. I think they can take this fight. Smash out onto Phoenix. Varian might fall quickly. Yeah. Oh, he will. Yeah, Varian goes down. Alarak able to zone off the rest of the heroes, and Luciodology's going to steal this camp.
And this is really one of the big disadvantages of a heavy melee comp that they've taken, is that it's very abusable by heroes with AoE damage.
Good chunk on
and
Alarak
slows.
Illidan
is going to take a camp just before this objective comes up.
Unfortunately, the first shrine is top lane, so that should be an easy clear on the side of Luciodology.
Yeah, Bronze League's Heroes still has a lot of camps to clear, so
yeah,
we're going to see Luciodology getting a sizable lead.
Got him very low. BronzeLeagueHeroes is coming in to contest this first shrine, despite almost a level behind. One kill to 0 in favor of Luciodology.
They have given up a 20 skull lead here, so I don't. It looks like they're just going to give it up in favor of Soak. They have not split up these lanes correctly, again, but they didn't miss any Soak top. Maybe a little bit bottom, but I still don't. I mean, they're missing
mid Soak right now, yeah.
So that's unfortunate. Solo Illidan defense, not ideal.
No, I expect he'll fall if they're able to capitalize on the Punisher's jump. That's the end of Illidan. It looks like BronzeLeagueHeroes is opting to just counter push bottom lane. Hero's gone down to respond to that. But with the Punisher on their side, Luciodology is going to get a lot more value here.
Alaric misses his combo, so Illidan does get the spread away here, but the Punisher is still half health.
Yep.
And getting a lot.
I imagine BronzeLeagueHeroes gets that fort, but Luciodology might get keep wall out of this Punisher.
I do have to say that BronzeLeagueHeroes is trading pretty well. They're almost going down again. Almost at T-Tours.
But their keep is pressured already, and Eugeneauz doing a decent job of slowing their backing. BronzeLeagueHeroes not even backing, they've opted to steal this camp.
Okay.
Alright. Luciodology increasing their level lead a little further. Put some damage on the keep wall just 5 minutes into the game.
You're all in trouble here. And she's going to walk away. The one thing I will say about that strategy is that I don't feel like Luciodology capitalized on the fact that they weren't responding to the Punisher well enough. And they really, BronzeLeagueHeroes traded pretty well, structurally. And
they really did.
Yeah, and they didn't trade any kills for it. And they did play as a team, which is better than everyone going off and doing their own thing.
Yeah, it's not how you want the first objective to go, but they're still very much in this game.
We're having some top soak mixed by Luciodology now. Squandering their one level lead a little bit.
Luciodology's average time in NGS so far has been 6 minutes and 40 seconds to level 10, and it's looking like they're going to be right on par this game. Maybe even beat it by a little. Little party bush happening here. Condemn able to block most of Diablo's charge.
Alaric in a lot of trouble. I don't think there's any way out for him.
That was a good blind from Johanna, but yeah, not enough to save him.
And
stay a while and listen.
Yeah, not going to do anything because they don't have any damage to follow up. But that is a Johanna ult coming out as well. Johanna's going down.
Deckard looks like he'll fall as well. No, he's able to get away.
Interesting ultimate usage. Oh, Colossus Smash.
Colossus Smash goes off after the root. Pulls him into tower range.
About that interaction.
No, that was... that was interesting.
Okay. I think that the ults were a little squandered there. And it's really allowed BronzeLeagueHeroes to come back into this game as they are completely even and really only just a little tiny bit behind Luciodology now.
Yeah, those 2 kills made a big deal in terms of catching them up on experience.
What? It's
Illidan hunting. Oh, Alaric falls.
I'm very disappointed to see the Ancestral Healing come out here, but we do have Deckard going down. I don't think there's any way he escapes this. And I'm wrong.
Yeah, this is a bloodlust comp if I ever saw one. Unfortunate that Tank Girl wasn't able to commit to that strategy.
I would like to talk more about the ultimate choice in general here, as we have Sacred Ground coming out, which I guess an argument could be made for. Granted, against a comp with a lot of damage, especially a Colossus Smash, I would argue Ardent Defender probably be a little bit safer. We have Falling Sword coming out here. Again, not
also
typical
an interesting choice,
for main tank Johanna.
Alaric falls quickly here.
But
Salvo coming out, might be able to get a counter kill on Tychus. Falling Sword. No, Ancestral Healing's gonna save him. Stay well and listen, holding the team in place. Illidan's getting a little low, but he looks like he'll be able to escape. Yeah, it's just a 1-for-0 trade. Oh, no. Hunt on Urel.
Illidan back in, but Sacred Ground comes out. I don't think that...
Saves her.
Okay. Ooh.
Phoenix getting low to Colossus Smash, but he's got his warp up. Luciodology really just needs to back away right now. And I don't know that Johanna will be able to. No. Alarak re-engaging.
Johanna drops.
Johanna falls. Alarak in trouble, but Diablo backs off. And BronzeLeagueHeroes is going to be able to pick up this Punisher for free. In a lane that they already pushed the fort. That's a very convenient spawn for them.
Yeah, that was, I was a little disorganized. I felt like a few people should have fallen
Colossus Smash used on the camp.
But the quick Alarak... Oh, Alarak walked back in.
Oh. Deckard came there to throw in a little support, but I don't think it'll be enough. Yeah.
Not sure what that was.
It was not the best engage out of Alarak.
Looks like Luciodology is... Oh, okay. Looks like they're just going to defend at their keep, as they should. Their pathing is a little suspect, but...
Yeah, they probably should have rotated safely through their keep, but... BronzeLeagueHeroes wasn't there to capitalize on it yet, so they're all safe. They don't jump the Punisher over the wall. Hero getting a little aggressive. Goose MVP taking a lot of damage from Tychus here.
Oh, and we do have Odin coming out for this push, which is a very strong pushing tool, especially with an
Alarak
Arcane
getting
Punisher.
low
Alarak
barrier.
in a lot of trouble.
Goose MVP taking a lot of damage. Might fall to the Punisher.
Falling
Uses
Sword's
Falling
out.
Sword to escape. Phoenix has to warp away. I think this keep is going down.
Yeah, and they, I mean, depending on how feisty they're feeling, they might be looking for more.
Urel can put good damage on Varian, but he turns around and does it right back.
They're going to walk away without the keep.
I would have liked to see them stay and take it with their 13 talent tier advantage here. But nothing wrong with playing a little safe.
Luciodology is chasing this down.
Yeah, they really want this fight. Goose MVP taking a lot of damage to Tychus. Stay well and listen is out. Purification salvo. Tychus might go down. Yep, he does. Rhaegar's in trouble too.
And Diablo. Nope.
Ancestral
comes
and
out with
Diablo.
I don't think Rhaegar's getting out.
Yeah, he will. That was a good turn from Luciodology. I think if BronzeLeagueHeroes had just turned and fought them instead of continuing to run though, they would have won that.
Luciodology moving on to the camp here. Illidan is stealing the Shaman camp top on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Luciodology won't be able to get there in time to counter that, so that's free for him.
Don't even think they suspect it, to be honest.
Yeah. They're looking to invade a camp themselves. Take this Khazra. Illidan looking to grab his own fallen camp, it looks like. BronzeLeagueHeroes just sort of waiting to respawn and regroup, playing it safe.
I would like to see them try and make more pressure. You see Tychus is clearing this camp for free. When they don't have a wall here, it could make Tychus back up and not really be able to put a lot of damage.
Absolutely.
But they are opting to push bottom instead.
Diablo rooted, but not really in trouble in that position. Minion support arriving for Luciodology, so they might be able to dive under the fort. Easily get the wall at least. Illidan's coming down to help his team. Alarak in trouble. Likely will fall.
Good healing from the knee from Alarak, but he drops.
But Luciodology able to retreat with just one casualty. BronzeLeagueHeroes about to hit 16. Just in time for the shrine. I think that should be a free Punisher again for them. Luckily Luciodology's still got a fort in that lane, so it shouldn't threaten core this time. A few more talents being picked up at 16.
Everything's pretty standard as far as I can tell. Although we do have pure malice coming out from the Alarak, which is a little BM.
That's an interesting choice. Phoenix at 50 stacks on advanced targeting. Alarak's got 2 out of 3. Oh, just now finished Extended Lightning. Varian took High King's Quest to completion a while ago.
Phoenix is going to go down here, but no, he escapes with a warp. Varian drops instead. And then Phoenix drops to Illidan. We do have an Odin, which is putting a lot of damage down, and they're getting a... BronzeLeagueHeroes is getting a sizable lead on the Shrine. Johanna popping unstoppable. Alarak
in trouble. Illidan's low as well.
Illidan was a very nice moves there to take down Alarak.
Yeah. Yrel will fall as well. Goose MVP staying in to damage the Shrine minions. That might put Johanna in trouble here. Yeah, Johanna will fall. Oh, no.
Nope.
Falling sword escape again.
But Tychus is right there. I think he's going to finish him off.
Not quite.
They might not have the CC to lock him down.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, they're backing off.
Varian standing in small. But BronzeLeagueHeroes is going to finish this off. Now, Luciodology still has a fort in this lane, but they do not have a front wall to that fort, so I would expect this Punisher to at least get keep wall. But we will see how it works out. Alarak standing way too far out, jumps the Punisher in front of the wall. Not punished for it.
Johanna rooted out in front.
Oh, and
Lightning breath out a little early.
Not really hitting anyone.
Yeah, did a little damage to the wall, but nothing the minions wouldn't have anyway. And this Punisher's gonna fall. Luciodology picking up 16. BronzeLeagueHeroes wisely backing out. Illidan put a lot of pressure on this bottom keep in the meantime, so it might fall to these minions if Luciodology doesn't respond.
Move to take some camps out.
Luciodology now responding. Keep's gonna survive, but it's very low. Strong breeze would knock it over whenever BronzeLeagueHeroes wants to pick it up. They might, after this camp, run it down.
Luciodology really should be looking for a fight here before BronzeLeagueHeroes manages to get 20.
Absolutely.
They're 2 levels behind, and doesn't look like there's really going to be anything on the map to get them 20 before the next objective. So it's really fight now or fight on the Shrine down to level 20 Palantir.
Luciodology angling to get their camp out. They don't want to take the fight.
And really, now it's probably not super common practice, but it's notable that really their camp is the only thing on the board for BronzeLeagueHeroes right now. And really, Luciodology could know that they're going to be there, as they're not showing anywhere else on the map, and could have moved to invade there if they wanted to force a fight. Instead, they choose to take out their own Kaiser camp.
The team's just sort of standing around waiting for the Shrine to spawn.
Just kind of in limbo here.
Yep.
Now, it does make sense for BronzeLeagueHeroes, but I really would like to see Luciodology be a little bit more aggressive here. Should see a Shrine coming up pretty
Stepping
soon.
up pretty far, but alone. Team support arriving now. They might press into this fort. Alright, combo onto Varian. Does a little damage, but didn't get much else done.
Illidan, AFK. We do this. Okay, they're going to clear up the Shaman camp. Again, BronzeLeagueHeroes about to hit 20, and 20 nowhere in sight. We're already getting a lot of damage.
Yeah, she falls.
Wow.
And that's 20.
Ooh, but Illidan in trouble too.
Oh wow. Purification salvo down.
Yeah, unfortunately Salvo did come out there, so they're not going to have that all for the fight, but they do. Okay, so that pick is beneficial, but they're still not going to get 20 before the end of the shrine, unfortunately. Ooh, Alarak getting caught out. Colossus match goes down, Lightning Breath comes out, and that's dead Alarak.
I'm not sure why Urel is top lane right now. He wasn't a strong, urgent need to clear that.
Yeah. There seems to be a slight disconnect between the team here. Maybe Urel up there to try and soak 20. Alarak stepping up for no real reason. Alarak not a very good PvE hero, so he's not going to be able to safely poke minions off the shrine, but now Luciodology is in a pretty bad position, as this bottom keep is very close to death.
Yeah, it's precarious. This Punisher's basically going straight onto the core.
And they're going to have a camp to push with it. It's going to have to be a very heroic defense here for Luciodology to stay in the game.
Unless they can get a pick somehow, they're not going to hit 20 before the Punisher's on their core.
Deckard off soaking, not optimal, but is what it is.
Red team has summoned a mortal Punisher.
They probably do have time to get this camp out. I think this is fine. Illidan split pushing top, I would not recommend when you have a level 20
They can really
advantage.
all in on the core right now.
Yes.
But he does
Should
have the
be
hunt.
looking to push 5. Yeah, he does have global hunt, so it's still okay. But there wasn't really an urgent need to clear that wave top.
No, and they already have the 20 talent tier advantage. There's no need to be up there. Johanna might fall very early here. No, she's able to. Falling sword away.
Light protects me.
Lightning breath. Phoenix taking a lot of damage. He falls first. Johanna next. And this is going to be the first game over to BronzeLeagueHeroes.
Pretty huge blind.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not blind, sleep. But it's not going to matter. BronzeLeagueHeroes taking game 1.
Very dominant performance.
Yeah, I'm surprised to say the least at a few of the choices, draft-wise and heroic-wise. I did feel like Luciodology was playing the macro game really a little bit better, but those mechanical skills just kind of that, you know, the lower mechanical skills coming from a board game style background. I think it showed a little bit. Unfortunately, would have really loved to see that bloodlust from BronzeLeague.
Yes. Yes, that was a very missed opportunity.
I really believed in it. I saw the Odin Tychus, I saw the Varian, the Odin. I was like, oh baby, we're getting the bloodlust.
BronzeLeagueHeroes, if you're listening, next time that's the pick.
Yes, please.
All right. Get another lobby set up here. Our next game is Luciodology's map pick, Volskaya Foundry.
All right, so Volskaya Foundry, another map where you could look for a rotation style strategy. Would be interested to see if these teams go for something like that again. There did seem to be an attempt to play a rotation style. Didn't really work out. Infernal Shrine is definitely one of the more difficult rotation maps because the mid lane and bottom lane are really not that close together. Volskaya is a little bit easier to pull it off, but I also think it'll come down to draft a little bit. I don't think Tychus, Varian, Rhaegar, Diablo is really the wave clear they were looking for a rotation style there.
And hopefully we'll see just a little more comfort generally from Luciodology on their own home turf.
I have to figure out how to sit to be centered in frame.
Oh, no. That's not where that message goes. players joining the game now.
I'm going to try and adjust my webcam, so bear with me.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to move my webcam to a second location, and you can try and adjust it.
All right. Oh, you're so centered.
Yeah, I'm going to center it like a good boy.
I'm interested to see if BronzeLeagueHeroes just leans into the melee comp again, if that's just their playstyle every time.
Yeah, it is possible that they just have three players that are comfortable on melee. And again, I mean, I've been saying from the beginning, play what you're good on.
Yeah.
And if you're good on melee, then play 3 melee. Let's do it. You love to see it.
Just waiting on a player here.
Finally, my camera woes have come to an end. I am officially centered.
It's looking good.
It's the dream. I'm going to start getting sponsors and putting ads up in the background.
Good.
Okay. Our teams are ready, and we're looking to move in to this draft.
All right.
Volskaya Industries.
All right, so this was the map pick for Luciodology. Excited to see what kind of strategy they have panned out here, but that does mean that it's going to be first ban for BronzeLeagueHeroes. Are you expecting to see more of the same as far as bans go, or do you think you're going to see more map-specific things?
I'd expect more of the same. They were pretty standard bans last time. A couple of powerful supports, an Asmodan, just knocking some meta choices off the board.
I would
Don't imagine they'll mix it up too much.
But they are taking a bit of time with this first ban, thinking about it. Johanna. Okay. Interesting. Is something they played last game. Maybe they're just trying to push them off of a comfort. Okay, has banana again. Not much to say about that.
Chain of ban as well. Saw that last time, and it's pretty standard.
Yeah,
I don't know that
still
she's
strong.
as threatening on Volskaya Foundry, but she's still a strong hero.
Yeah, and all of these heroes have not been nerfed from the last game to this one, so unsurprising. Rebanned.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 same bans so far.
Let's see if the picks are going to be similar, or again, it's a similar like playstyle map. There's obviously a few differences as far as the camps and the objective go, but is going to be a Diablo again from Bronze League Heroes.
Anytime you're ready.
Do your worst.
There's that Jimmy.
There he is.
Jimmy and Uriel. Obviously, Uriel, strong, very strong solo laner at the moment. And Jimmy, strong hero. Surprised he went through the entire last draft completely uncontested.
Yeah, yeah.
Glad to see him. I'm pretty
Not
sure the
even a mention of him
statistics.
last time. A Genji.
And we Genji
Variant
yeah,
again.
Great destiny.
You
Well,
love
do
to
these
see
seem
it.
to be comfort picks for these teams? Uriel, Diablo, Varian, both games in a row.
Yeah, I will say that Jimmy doing very well in E-Division this season. Genji, I'm not sure the statistics on him, to be honest. I know he's very heavily banned in Storm. I really didn't expect to see him picked here, but I love it, and I can't wait to see it.
I'm gonna pull up those stats while this draft continues. I'd like to
Malfurion
know
ban
how Genji
again.
performs.
Again, I think that Malfurion is probably a target ban. He's a fine sport.
In E-Division last round, Genji went an even 3 wins, 3 losses. 50% win rate.
Alright.
Outside of those 6 games he was played, he saw 13 bans, so it sounds like he's doing about the same as he is in Storm Division.
Yeah, sounds about right. Still a strong hero, so can't say they're wrong.
This realm needs
Ready
me.
for action.
Alright.
Murder and Li Ming.
The one thing I
Mixing it
will
up.
say is I like a lot of what I see out of Luciodology's drafts.
Yeah, yeah.
As far as the way they're composed, they're fairly balanced. They seem to have a strategy in mind. Whether they're able to carry out that strategy is, again, yet to be seen. But I do like the way that they're composing these drafts. I just hope that they are picking heroes that they're comfortable on.
Yeah. They're definitely putting a lot of thought into their team
I
composition.
will fight to my
Again, a
We have
very melee team.
Another very melee heavy composition.
Alright, I really hope we see the Bloodlust this time.
If Bloodlust doesn't come out this time, I'm going to be very emotional on stream.
show begins.
And Deckard again. Deckard is good into a melee heavy composition. I think that Jimmy can deal with melee heavy compositions pretty well as well. His penetrating round does a good job of keeping them away from him, and he can poke. He can just keep hitting that quest on them, hitting that trait damage and auto attack damage on them from pretty safe distance.
I think
as long
Raynor
as
and Ming
Marvin-
are going to do a lot better than Phoenix and Alarak did into this comp.
I agree. But we will see.
I think my only concern with their draft whatsoever is that I don't know if Muradin's the most optimal tech pick. I would say that Johanna was, but she was banned early by Bronze League Heroes, so...
I do think, I think the Johanna ban made sense if you're going for a melee heavy composition.
Yes.
I think that Muradin is survivable. If he takes that healing static and avatar, he can get a lot of healing off of a composition like this. obviously is going to get a lot of value out of Dwarf Toss. So I can't say it's a bad, but it is not a lot of. But Urel and Deckard are good to supplement the field. But on the left for Luciodology, we are going to have Hentron on Jimmy, Fairywinkle on Deckard, Takulu on Li Ming, Goose MVP on Muradin, and Eugeneauz on Urel.
And over on the side of Bronze League Heroes, we got Yep again on Diablo, boozing it up on Thrall, Tyro on the Genji, Rage Fist on Varian, and Tank Girl on the Rhaegar. And everybody here in chat, if Tank Girl doesn't pick Bloodlust, please report.
Yes, agreed. We're going to have Urel going straight bottom, and Thrall going straight top. Nothing really to do there, but if you're avoiding a mid-brawl, I guess it's okay. It doesn't appear that's the case.
Luciodology getting the wave cleared much faster.
Genji's sitting here waiting for this Li Ming, or just waiting for anyone on rotation. But it doesn't look like it's their intention to rotate.
There. Oh, Rainer the first to fall. 1 minute into the game, just some quick burst.
Stepping a bit too far up there against the Diablo. He has been stepping up to try and get that damage on them, trying to stack that level 1 quest, Veteran Marksman, trying to get his trait damage off on a hero so that it goes up. But playing a little bit too aggressive there.
6 stacks already, but not worth the early death.
As far as other level 1 talents go, mostly pretty standard, except for that Veteran Marksman and the Lion's Fang quest, Lion's Maw with Varian. Do you think we're going to see more of still a Colossus Smash, but more of a Mage Burst style from Varian here?
I think we might see a taunt even.
It's a possibility.
The extra CC to just let Genji do whatever he wants on one target, and Thrall as well. Could work for this comp.
Thrall looking to take out this fortification camp. Luciodology not moving to take theirs out quite yet.
It's Colossus Smash again.
Indeed it is.
We've redesigned our Trigo protectors for combat in the next.
Something strange happening with Rainer's animation right now. He's not.
Yeah,
walking.
he's kind of
just
gliding
sliding
across
around
the ground a bit. Yeah, his stutter step animation is not functioning. He looks like he's going to be in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah.
And Hentron like going down again? Probably?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Available to follow up and secure that.
Would like to see Luciodology move to take out their fortification camp, though Thrall has already lost his. Apparently Urel took it.
Oh.
I missed that.
I didn't see that either, yeah.
Classic T-Tors. Ooh, Li Ming going down very quickly. And Muradin, sorry. Super T-Tors, I don't know what's going on.
She must have stolen it off the point, because Luciodology hasn't picked up a death yet, or a kill yet.
I assume they just walked up and took it.
Bronze League Heroes taking a pretty early lead in kills here, 4-0. Not even 4 minutes into the game. It's giving them a slight level lead over Luciodology.
Diablo positioning aggressively, but he's scouted. Ooh, and he goes under towers to put in some damage.
Just root lance at once, but he's still taking a lot of damage here. Varian puts some good damage into Muradin.
Luciodology moving onto the point, and Bronze League Heroes just leaves.
Yeah, backing off, letting them take a little channel while they regroup.
Possibly trying to get 7 before re-engaging.
Rainer doing a good job to soak mid as well. Staying almost even.
His turret did come down. I'm not exactly sure when that happened. Probably mid-fight. But that means that neither team is going to have an item for this next engagement. BronzeLeague's Heroes now picking up 7. And it looks like they're moving in. They're not engaging yet. Yep, looking for a wallbang. And he hits the rain. Oh, he hits Eugeneauz.
Oh, Diablo may fall here. He's getting very low. Yeah, he's the first to go down. Eugeneauz taking some damage, but should be fine to just back off and heal. I think Luciodology is going to get themselves a Triglav Protector here.
And it does look that way. Interesting.
Skullcracker from Muradin. That extra CC should help against the melee team diving in on them.
It is
Varian's
so
going full
be,
Lion's Fang build.
Yeah, it's going to be the Mage Burst build by Varian. The Maelstrom Weapon by Thrall. Ambitious. For those unaware, Maelstrom Weapon is infinitely stacking auto attack damage quest for Thrall when he hits heroes with his Maelstrom Weapon up, and he does get move speed bonuses as well after he reaches certain points in that quest. Not commonly seen. First Protector going to get a mid wall and most
top wall
of
and
the
the
top
well
wall.
as well, which is great for them when the second Triglav Protector point spawns top.
Pretty standard. Seeing a lot of Genji off-soak this game.
Luciodology looking to grab the support camp. BronzeLeagueHeroes hasn't noticed yet. And they won't. Genji working on his camp. Luciodology probably going to head to their turret as well. Oh, they're just grabbing soak and looking for 10. They got about a half a level lead on the way there right now. Turret picked up by Thrall.
But again, we are seeing Luciodology with a half a level lead. A lot of that coming off that Protector. And it looks like they're a little behind their standard for hitting level 10.
They are.
But not too far.
The early death slowed them down this game.
Jimmy does have 35 stacks on Veteran Marksman and 28 stacks on Behemoth Armor now. Decent.
Varian's 23 all the way through his Lion's Fang quest. Muradin's only got 3 stacks on his Stormbolt quest at this point.
We hate to see that.
First fort, falling on the side of BronzeLeagueHeroes.
Genji still split pushing. And he's being
Looks like
rotated on.
Luciodology, yeah, making a play on Genji here. But as he's Genji, he's able to get to safety and even bait out, stay a while and listen.
Again, no Bloodlust. Continuing to be sad. We could have had a Bloodlust Earthquake, but instead we get a Sundering and Ancestral Healing. Oh man, Earthquake, Bloodlust, and Apocalypse. We do have a fight coming out here.
Oh yeah,
A lot
several
of
ults
ults
coming out
coming
quickly.
out. It looks like
Rainer might
Jimmy
fall.
is taking a lot of damage, but he's not going down
The shield
quite
from
yet.
Deckard
Looks
Kane's
like
potion
Darkman
saving him.
really
And if Eugeneauz can escape, yeah, that's a lot of ults burned, but nobody dead.
Yeah.
The only thing that didn't come out was Ancestral Healing.
Yeah, I mean, BronzeLeagueHeroes getting the better trade damage-wise. But really, considering no one got a kill, and they have the longer heroic cooldowns, it ends up being a bad trade for them, especially with this second control point coming up.
And between all of the potions that Deckard had on the ground already, Luciodology's just healed to full. And Deckard's still holding his heal pack from the support camp. Their ults are all up. I think this is the time they want to take this fight.
Yeah, they should be looking for an engage here before X Strike and Fire Breath come back up.
Sundering back online now.
They are going to get control at this point, but it looks like Bronze League Heroes is just backing off until their ultimates are back up. Jimmy under a little bit of pressure, but he's able to keep away.
Diablo engaging a little early with no Apocalypse. He might pay for it.
But Jimmy in the background, unprotected, is going down to Varian, but he's able to stay alive.
Varian walks into the stay a while. Apocalypse out, only hits Muradin. Bronze League Heroes just use it to peel, really, not able to capitalize.
Again, a lot of ultimates coming out for not a lot of result. This time, Bronze League Heroes arguably taking more favorable ultimate trades, only losing 2 long cooldown ultimates as compared to Luciodology's 3. And they're posturing to re-engage here.
Hex Strike and Ancestral Healing are still available for Bronze League Heroes. Genji putting a lot of pressure onto Li Ming. Varian taking some damage. Li Ming.
Ooh, Li Ming. A lot of damage.
Saved by a potion.
Down.
Genji
falls. Gets counter killed. The Ancestral not going off. Looks like there's still a lot of damage.
Li Ming resets, able to take Thrall as well. And that's a second protector for Luciodology.
Luciodology locks down a second protector after a very well fought fight. I mean, it looked like they were going to lose there for a moment, but they got 2 quick counter kills denying the Ancestral healing on Genji. Varian taking a lot of damage, and he goes down.
Blue team has destroyed the fort.
Keep wall falls. And most of the health in 45 seconds still on this protector. They might be able to get the keep here. Varian's still not alive.
And this is one of the downsides to a melee heavy composition is you do not have a lot of safe ways to defend against things like a protector. Could just be looking to take the fight out of this, but they lose a keep and this protector is still very healthy. But they're just going to opt to back up and maybe get a second keep wall here. Next protector does spawn bottom, so APOC coming out.
Sundering as well. There's the stay a while. Diablo falling very low. 700 health. Muradin might go down himself.
Going down.
Oh wow. Genji falls.
Li Ming gets a
Muradin
reset.
falls.
Ancestral comes out on Varian. And that's it. 1 for 1. Now, while they didn't get a lot from that mid wall, it's important to note that the next protector is going to spawn bottom, and it's a lot easier to walk mid than it is to walk top. So opening that mid wall is helpful if they do look for an end on that next protector.
Both teams just picking up their turret camps. Luciodology did look to threaten a little, but backed off quickly. Bronze League Heroes might invade their camp.
No one picks up the turret.
Diablo might steal it. It's still just sitting on the ground. Deckard picks it up and drops it immediately. And Thralls came out as well. Both turrets spent. Varian might fall to Urel. He does. Genji's low as well. Looking in trouble. Yeah, that's 2 heroes down. Luciodology with a big advantage right now. All of their heroics except Avatar available. Pushing at mid lane. They might just look to threaten this keep here. It's not a bad play.
Dude, Thrall doesn't quite secure that kill on Rainer.
He was getting a little isolated there, though, stepping ahead of his team. Good of Thrall to look to take advantage.
We're going to use a few ultimates to try and secure this mid keep here.
I expect it'll fall, but I don't know if
But
they'll get away with it with their
They are
lives.
looking for a counter fight. But
no, they get the keep and they're able to back off.
They are 3 levels down now. Luciodology, this early game prowess and macro ability being shown a little bit more here. Again, this was their map choice, so maybe just a more practiced strategy.
No one picks up the support camp. The heal pack still just sitting on the ground.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
Oh, Deckard
Oh,
noticed.
Deckard notices.
Just in time before he backed.
Almost unlucky.
I'm getting another terminal ready for you.
BronzeLeagueHeroes is probably going to be able to secure 16 before this control point comes up and fight on even talent tiers. Not really much that can be done about it at this point. Again, it's unlocking in 9 seconds. So Luciodology is going to be able to get a lead on it. And they do have a camp pushing top that has not been cleared with
And they're
ults.
looking to threaten the bottom fort a little bit alongside these minions.
Interesting to see how this
Regrouped onto
plays
the
out.
point. Turret camp's coming available again.
BronzeLeagueHeroes posturing without 16.
I think the right play would just be to grab a turret camp or two and use that experience to hit 16, but at this point it's probably too late.
Yeah, just taking a lot of free poke. Genji looking for this flank. I'm not sure how it's going to work out for him.
Yeah, he takes a lot of damage. Big Apocalypse hits 3 heroes. Ancestral out early. Deckard Cain the first to fall.
Without dropping his support. Raynor in a lot of trouble, but he takes out the wall. That does mean a reset.
Yeah, the
But
support
then he's
camp
stuck on the
drops.
conveyors.
Raynor falls. Varian's very low. He falls. Genji may as well. And the Protector goes to Luciodology. There goes Genji and Diablo too.
Somewhere in the midst of that,
Fall. Oh,
apparently
yeah,
all
there's
BronzeLeague
Diablo
heroes
to
fall.
the Protector.
Blue team has taken control.
And that was unfortunate. I'm not exactly sure why they're not just going core here.
Yeah, I would like to see them close out the game here. There it is.
A little bit late. They did waste a bit of time there. So there are going to be some bodies up for BronzeLeagueHeroes by the time they get there. Again, pathing not correct. Li Ming taking the correct path. But they do have a lot of pulps coming in for help.
They do. Several mid. Top being cleared now, but already took about half the shield off the core.
Yeah, that pathing and that time spent on bottom 4 was kind of unfortunate. I'm not sure if it really makes a difference here, but...
No, with the full health Protector, they should still be able to close it out
this
very
core
easily.
is just
Yep, just melting.
This is going to be game 2
1-1 draw
for Luciodology. Well played by both teams.
Indeed.
And looking at the stats here, we have a similar amount of healing coming up from Tankero on Rhaegar and Fairywinkle on Deckard. And it looks like quite a large difference in terms of the damage the tanks took. Meriden taking about 39,000 damage compared to Diablo taking almost 72,000 damage, and Varian taking 46,500 damage. Pretty large difference.
I think
in terms of
it
damage.
mostly contributed to the fact that BronzeLeagueHeroes wasn't able to poke with their melee heavy comp as well as Raynor and Li Ming could.
I would agree. I think the Raynor and Li Ming just were throwing out a lot of damage. I think that BronzeLeagueHeroes were just looking for the blow up on the back line on someone like Raynor, not really putting a lot of damage into the tanks. So it definitely does account for that. And we do see a lot of damage coming out from the Raynor. 65,000 damage to heroes that game.
I think I'd like to see if someone from BronzeLeagueHeroes is available for an interview to talk about that lack of bloodlust.
And the very melee heavy compositions I also would like to chat about.
Alright, we're gonna talk first to Tyro from BronzeLeagueHeroes. He's their captain.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, we're actually gonna talk quick to Tyro first. I want to know about their heroic choices on the Rhaegar.
Say instead of... Hey,
Hello.
babe. How's it going?
Good.
So,
How's it going?
Good.
pretty good, Tyro. Congratulations on your game 1 victory. Unfortunate one in game number 2. How does it feel?
Oh, a little bit of mixed feelings. We were hoping for both of them, of course. Sad that we didn't get number 2, especially on a map that we pick so often.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. We do have a few questions for you. Specifically, one we're going to start out with here. Why no Bloodlust?
Honestly, we felt that our tank was dying too quickly on the engage, and so we wanted a way to keep him alive. You know, hindsight's 20/20 and whatnot, and we probably should have gone Bloodlust.
Yeah, I mean, you opted out for Ancestral Healing in game 1 as well, which you won. I'm not saying it's a bad heroic choice, but just thought it was interesting. Usually when you see an Odin Tychus, that extra attack speed that the Odin gets adds a lot of damage. And then especially since you guys went with such melee
Diablo
compositions.
and Varian having such heavy
Yeah,
dive, it just really felt like the perfect time for a Bloodlust.
Is it something that you practice with, or is it just you usually go Ancestral?
Honestly, it depends. Like, if we feel that we're running away with the game, we can go Bloodlust. If not, then we usually play it safe and go Ancestral. Because at any point, like, if you saw in the end of Game 2 in Volskaya, on the bottom point, we tried something where we just tried to dive Deckard as fast as possible. And we got him. And we got his healing. Now, unfortunately, the other 2 members died. But that's what we should have been doing from the very start. And Ancestral kind of negates that type of dive, right? So, just in the example, if they would have also had a Rhaegar and they see us dive onto that Deckard, he can just instantly pop Ancestral and the dive is negated.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, my other main question would just be, what do you guys think about you guys were taking very melee heavy compositions, usually 3 melee damage, like with 3 melee heroes and then a melee support as well. Is that something you guys pick because it's something that's worked for you, or do you just have players that prefer playing on melee heroes, or just give me a little bit more insight behind that?
Yeah, so actually we kind of mix it up. So in game 1, I was playing that Illidan. And if you watched, I spent most of the game basically playing as a specialist instead of team fighting, going in for the kills, whatnot. I would only go in if I felt there was a guaranteed kill. And then Rhaegar, we feel is a great option because you get the speed and the slow there and the group healing. But we do generally like melee heavy comps because they have worked for us. We've gotten a lot of practice in timing those stun chains. Just good example was the Diablo flips into the Varian C smash. We were able just to melt people in the first game. And even Joanna wasn't really safe from that.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'll leave you over to Bay State to see if he has any additional questions.
That covered about everything I had. I am curious if Colossus Smash is how you always run Varian, or if it's a map and composition dependent choice.
We love running Varian because Varian can be a tricky. We can pick Varian up first, and you can look through our long line of games and see, oh, C smash, C smash, C smash. And then we'll give Varian to Yep. And Yep is super, super good at playing that taunt Varian.
Right.
And so he's that multi-class feature is kind of tricky in a draft to predict what we're going to do.
Great. Well, again, congratulations on the one map you took. Always nice to go home with something.
That's right.
All right. Thank you.
GGs.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Are you still here with us, Eugene?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Great. Yeah, we can.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Hello, indeed.
Congratulations on winning the map that you selected. Nice to
Thank
see you
That
guys
always
rally
feels good.
so dominantly after losing the first game.
Yeah, we had a little chat after the first game and said we should maybe do better this game.
It seems like it was an effective pep talk.
Yeah, it was more. Yeah, it was a communal pep talk. We all felt that way.
Yeah. Great.
You gotta love it. So we talked a little bit, me and Bay talked a little bit before the game, that you guys look for more macro heavy strategies rather than mechanically heavy strategies or anything along those lines, which I think showed. I thought that your macro play was very strong. On a map like Infernal Shrines, it can be tricky because those shrines are big swing points, where I thought that on a map like Volskaya, which is a little bit more snowbally from the beginning, it really showcased where you guys were able to take such a large lead, and BronzeLeagueHeroes were really just never able to come back into the game. Is that something that, I mean, so talk to me a little bit about kind of just how you approach, like what maps do you like to play, and kind of how you approach drafting and what you're looking for in a draft, specifically on maps like Volskaya Foundry.
Yeah, you found us out pretty clearly. We know that as a team, we have a strength towards our macro game, and that our team fight micro is where we're all working. So Volskaya is a great pick for that because you can use that macro advantage to push forward, and it's not quite as punishing to lose those team fights, and it's also clearer where the team fights, to our mind, are going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. I think in game one, you guys fell behind, which obviously not a place you guys want to end up, especially when you're playing a macro heavy strategy. But we were really expecting you guys to be looking for a fight. You guys were down level 16 to level 18, and there was really no way you were going to get level 20 before the next shrine. And obviously that next shrine ended up being your demise. Were you looking for a fight there, or were you just trying to soak as close to 20 as possible? Or give me a little bit more insight there.
No, you're right. We were looking for that fight, and we didn't find it. And it may have been there. We may just not have been able to find it, because that's where we have a hard time sometimes, is finding those turnaround fights. We do better when we can keep the momentum going forward.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing, I mean, the last thing I have to ask for you is just, I think that your drafts, the one thing I thought your drafts were fairly well-rounded. That your band seemed fairly standard, maybe one or two things out of place, like just out of the normal there. When you approach drafting, are you kind of like, what kind of compositions do you think work for you? Like what's kind of the logic behind your bands? Are you more of like a target ban, or just banning the things that you don't think you can deal with as a team?
Yeah, we tend to go for those kind of big, heavy hitters we don't want to deal with as a team, Azmodan and Whitemane this time around. Although we did kind of, look at some of the things the team had been doing and maybe think that giving them an Azmodan or the Malfurion would have been dangerous for us. So we do a little bit of both, but generally more on the safety ban. This is what we think is strong and don't want to deal with.
I would like to know if the way you varied your drafts was really specific, it looked, in that you kept the Urel, you kept the Deckard Cain. Those things had mostly worked for you in the first game, but it was your damage dealers that you changed. You picked Raynor and Li Meng in the second game. Was that in direct response to their melee heavy comps, or is that just also comfort picks for you that happened to work better in game two?
Yeah, it was kind of the opposite. The first time we were choosing DPS, thinking about their comp, and the second game we said, you know what, let's just choose what we're familiar with and really like.
I'm glad you did, because it's definitely something I always preach.
Yeah, we were pretty happy about it too.
played definitely a lot better in the second game, but I really liked what I was seeing from you guys. So just keep trucking along and improving, and love to see you guys more.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good games tonight. So I think that about wraps it up for us.
Yeah, I think
always like to see a draw here on a
very
Luxorian
exciting
stream.
E-Div. I really like that we saw in game one, we saw a team kind of show off their more micro-oriented skills. In the second game, we saw a team show off their more macro-oriented skills, showing that you can win with either playstyle.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You gotta love it. You gotta love E-Div.
Yeah,
It's
and it was
really
the close matchup that we were promised, and I'm glad for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Great.
And here's to more Luxorian casts in the future, and hopefully
we'll be back sometime next round.
Quality of the casting continues to improve.
Thanks for coming out, Swoop.
Much love, Bay. Peace out, Twitch chat.